And it is Monday night, time for Skyhawk Talk live from Snappy Tomato Pizza, where the University of Tennessee Martin Skyhawks coming off a win on Thursday night over Tennessee Tech, the final in that one, 28-17. Coach Jason Simpson will join us as we look back to the win over Tennessee Tech and ahead to the matchup coming up Saturday with number 22 ranked Tennessee State coming to town. That's a 1 o'clock start. It's at Graham Stadium. Also, a little bit later, we'll visit with Coach McNamara as we talk UT Martin soccer as the Skyhawk soccer team picking up a pair of wins on the Death Valley trip, and they're scheduled to play a couple more road games this week, and we'll look ahead at the week ahead for the University of Tennessee at Martin athletic teams. Again, the Skyhawk football team winning over Tennessee Tech 28-17. Live from Snappy Tomato Pizza, it is Monday night. We'll come back with the Skyhawk Talk radio program on our flagship station. The Big Orange Hotline will follow. That comes up at 7 tonight. It's a great night of sports talk, and it starts right now on the University of Tennessee at Martin Skyhawk Sports Network. We're at Snappy Tomato Pizza, Skyhawk Talk, visiting with Coach Jason Simpson and UT Martin Skyhawks this past Thursday. Got a win at Tennessee Tech. Final score in that one, 28-17. UT Martin having a dominant first half and holding on to win it there. Coach Simpson joins us here at Snappy. Coach, congratulations on the win over Tech.
Well, thank you. Kids played hard. Coaches had a good plan, and we executed on the road, and that puts us at 3-1 on the road with only lost to Boise State. So proud of the players and the program for we kind of call it being road warriors. Things are a little bit different when you go on the road.
Yeah.
And so we were able to respond and get off to a great start in the first half. And, felt like we had the game under control, to be honest with you, the whole time. Even though they scored 2 touchdowns and we didn't. And we talked about that today a little bit, Chris, from the standpoint of, comparing like our stats to our opponents this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're doing good through 6 games of the season. And, we're only scoring 23 points a game. But the bottom line to that is penalties and turnovers.
Right.
And, you're stopping yourself. You're giving up 1 touchdown a game, which would put you at 30 points a game, which would, that's something acceptable to us. And so those are things we've got to correct as we go forward.
Yeah, statistically, when total yards, offense, you dominate the game definitely. And even when they scored, I thought they had a challenging. One of their drives took 7 minutes and 9 seconds, and they wanted to score a lot quicker than that.
Oh, yeah, no question. And our defense played really well. And if you look at the stats, for 6 games so far, and we've had a very challenging schedule compared to some of the teams in our league. We're second in the league in total defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're still. We're not where we want to be in points per game, but you also gave up 60 to Boise, thanks to turning the ball over.
Right.
And but our defense has played well in our wins, and very proud of that. And so we're kind of finding ways to win and relying on our defense.
Let's go back to the game again. It was a Thursday night matchup. First of all, you had a short week.
Yeah.
You didn't look fatigued at all in the first half.
Kids did a great job from that standpoint, and we brought it to their attention. Said, here's why you won. You won because you didn't have a hangover from the Jacksonville State loss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we went right to work on Sunday. Went out there, and that was with a change of quarterback.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but that was with a change of quarterback, and we did some different things for Jared Neal. And, changed the offense up a little bit to suit him from that standpoint. And you saw us in a lot of two-back and kind of some.
It looked like last year.
Yeah, it was like, some traditional stuff, especially early in the season and early in Carr's career. And, that was some things I don't think that Tech was really ready for. They had worked on a lot during the week because we had been pretty much 4 wide receivers the whole game against Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
So, we kind of caught them off guard a little bit with that. But the kids executed and practiced great on Sunday, Monday, and practiced Tuesday, Wednesday. And, I thought we were really prepared and executed well.
One of the things you have to do for a Thursday night game after a Saturday night game is to pace yourself and not, I guess, and build. Has that strategy or philosophy changed since you've been coaching at UT Martin? Because you got to experiment with it to find what works.
No, you do, and kind of the way we approached last week was this: one, having the loss gave you a tremendous sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Okay, so when if you're a mature team, you come out and you're ready to go on Sunday, but normally in the past, we would probably leave on Wednesday and kind of just have a walkthrough. Mm-hmm. Well, we've kind of, got away from that to where we practiced on Wednesday. We, not in shoulder pads, but we went out there for a good hour and got work in and made sure of our assignments, ate dinner here, and then, then made the trip to Nashville and stayed overnight. And then knowing that we would have, 3 extra days to rest, or at least 2 extra days to rest than our opponent for this week. So that's where we approached it. Hey, give me what you got. Let's empty the tank this week, and we'll refuel over the weekend.
And I guess the competitive guys wanted to be on the field as soon as possible after they lost to Jacksonville State.
Well, we played Tech at a good time. One, we remember from last year, and although did it have any bearing on the game this year? Probably none when the game started, but it helped us in our mental approach.
Sure.
I mean, it certainly did, and had us focused with something to prove. And you could even tell in the celebration of the game afterwards. It's real. It's a. I'm excited. Whenever we win, because I know how hard the coaches, work and the game plans, the amount of hours and energy that we put into the game, whether we win or lose. It's just you get the reward when you win, but still the same amount of hours. And but the feeling in the locker room after the game wasn't like the Chattanooga win. It was not like the Central Arkansas win. Okay, it was more like the Southeast Missouri win. And I don't say that being disrespectful to those teams, but you can't hide. When the kids watch the tape, they know what they're dealing with. They know the caliber of players and the type of team that we have compared to the teams that we're playing, and they know Jacksonville State. We won't have to play really well to win. And against Tennessee Tech, they knew, hey, if we don't screw it up like we did last year, the kids felt like that. Coaches not necessarily, okay, but I just got the sense that the kids felt like, hey, let's take care of our business. We'll get the win on the road. And so in the locker room after the game, it was I think I was the only one really, really excited. And matter of fact, John Abel kind of tapes all those, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, because when you have a certain standard that your seniors, that your upperclassmen have set on the wins, that they expect to there's certain games that they expect to win.
Right.
Okay. And then there's certain games that they know they got to play really, really well to win. And that's when your just really exhilarating celebrations take place in that locker room. And so it was funny today, flipping the switch. When they started watching TSU, you could kind of tell, okay, we got to get it going this week, because it's certainly a different caliber and one of the top teams in the country.
Let's look back at the first half. Coach Jared Neal was your quarterback, and I guess the first question is, how is Favre?
He's hopefully going to get a little something out of him. We'll see. Well, I'm not real sure, but he's a competitor, and if he can go, he certainly will.
Jared Neal's at quarterback, and just as effective at times this season as Favre had been, but it's a different type of quarterback that you have here with Jared Neal, and I was excited to see him on the field.
He played really well that first half. I mean, he was 16 of 20, and he had a great tempo going and was leading the offense. And, I still think he had a good game. I really do. I think he was 21 of 29 or 20, something like that. I mean, really good, about 69, 70% or whatever.
21 of 29, threw for 270 yards.
Right. And, and he got a little bit rattled there, I thought, in 2 series. Some things that, he'll play better the next time when he sees those certain looks. One, wasted a play one time against a bad look on a little screen. One time blitz was coming, and, he can't take a sack in that situation, get us out of field goal range. Because one more score in that second half, and that game's over.
Yeah.
Okay, one more and that game's over. So he takes us out of field goal range, and those are things he'll correct. But really proud. That's the first game that Jared started and completed. That's the most that he's played here in his career, and I thought he had a lot of composure and led us to a victory. So real proud of him.
One thing you notice is that he's got tremendous arm strength. He can flat out throw a football.
Well, it was good to. He's got the strongest arm, and as you notice, I think what was the third play of the game? We go deep down the sideline, and tremendous throw and tremendous catch, and came back the next play, and same play the other side, and just went right off the receiver's fingertips. But those are things when you're in two-back like that you have to do if you're going to be if you're going to score and have big plays. You've got to hit some of those outside throws, and we haven't done that. And that's not really Dylan's forte, although he did complete some posts against Jacksonville State. But different style. Dylan wants to do some things with his feet to create some throws, and where Jared does a nice job of setting that pocket. Although he did have a nice little scramble and found Chris Thompson up the sideline.
What kind of quarterback was Jared in high school?
Similar as far as with his composure and arm strength. He just didn't throw the ball that much, but most of the time he was underneath center. Where we saw Jared was he came to our camp in the summer and you saw him throw it, and you just kind of
That's project. A good question. I've always thought about this. In some high school programs, they don't throw the ball a whole lot, but you have a quarterback who can throw the ball. And I saw a thing on TV on these 7-on-7 camps that really let scouts, or not scouts, but recruiters see what these guys can do at quarterback.
It's
position.
hard. I mean, if a guy's high school coach, if you don't have 100 throws to evaluate off of, and and it's hard to be critical of a high school coach. I mean, that guy's winning games.
Right.
They're running the football, winning games, and doing what he needs to do for success of his program. But it can be detrimental to a high school quarterback if he is, if you don't have a chance to evaluate him in your camp. If you haven't seen him throw live, all things equal, you're going to go with that guy, sign that guy that you've seen throw.
And what you can see, I mean, you can obviously see what his arm strength is, but you don't know what his composure will be like and how well he can read the defense.
And and there's so many things. And I read that there was a great article in Sports Illustrated about that Art Briles from Baylor was talking about. I think there's was there 6 or 7 Texas high school quarterbacks that are starting in the NFL now, and so they're every weekend, like a soccer tournament or travel baseball, they're playing travel 7-on-7.
Yeah.
And so can you imagine the different throws that they're probably throwing 100, 200 passes a weekend in 7-on-7 competition. So there's so many. So they understand, cover 2 where the ball needs to go, and cover 3 and man coverages, and so it's through trial and error. They're able to see those things. So when they get here to college, that's why there's Penn State played a freshman this past weekend. I mean, there's several freshmen across the country that are playing right now, and that 7-on-7 in the summer is a big part of it.
How close is 7-on-7 to what they actually do in a game on the field?
If you got great protection, really good. Yeah. It's really close. The thing that you don't get to see is the rush.
Yeah.
Because you and I could probably go out there and complete some balls in 7-on-7.
Well, speak for yourself.
If we got 3 seconds to throw the ball,
yeah.
We could do that. But can we do that with 4 guys rushing us or blitzes coming and when we stand in that pocket?
Taking a hit. Yeah.
You're looking out the side of your face mask, looking through the hole in your face mask.
We'll come back. We'll talk about the game with Tennessee Tech. UT Martin wins at 28-17. Jared Neal was at quarterback, and the defense played well, too. More on the way on the Skyhawk Sports Network.